Okay, so I'm going to talk through the process for purchasing now. So I've gone purchase and new purchase, just taking me to this new purchase screen. There's a top section where I can fill in the general information about the purchase order, and then the bottom sections where I can just walk through stage by stage what has to happen with this product. So you'll notice here that these tabs are all closed down. I can't do anything with these because I need to follow through section by section. Now what I'm going to do here is order a whole load of bedroom furniture, and then in another video where we talk about production, then I'll make this up into a bedroom package. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. So here I'll just pick a supplier. So I'll just take ABC Furniture. We've got contact details and so on. There's terms, then when it's required by. So that's not a field that has to be in there, but it's useful because then on your dashboard you can see delayed orders. You'll notice here there's an input method, stock first or invoice first. I'll talk about that in a moment. The tax options, so let's just do GST on expenses. Inventory account, so this pulls from your default, but you can always change it here. If you have more than one, you can always change here what you want your inventory account to be. Blind receipt, if you're blind receipting the product. Date, location, so we'll say this is going into the Melbourne warehouse. Shipping address, which has come through automatically, but I could change this if I wanted to change it to the PO box, for example. And then down the bottom here, I've got a note, so please ensure some detail there that will go on the purchase order. And then I can add order lines, or I can import a purchase order in. So if you've got a particularly long purchase order, you can import it in from an Excel sheet. In this case, I'll just go through and add in these items here. So as part of our bedroom package, we've got bedroom chairs, then we've got the desk, and we've got the wardrobe. So I'll order a few of these items, just so I can then show you in another video the production side, and we'll get 100 of those. So here you can check pricing, check GST rules, similar things as well. So if I'm happy with all of those, I'll just authorize that purchase order. So that's now authorized everything, ticked all the options here, and if I were to go back to the purchase screen here and view all purchase orders, then you'll see the status symbols here. The first one, which is authorized, has gone green, and we're across to the invoice or billing option. Then we go to stock received, and then we go to payment. So if I tick back on that one just to go back into it, if I need to from here now, I can print or I can email purchase orders, invoices, labels, things like that. If you want to redefine these purchase orders, so here if I go into purchase order, and I'll just show you this one. This will be a very, very simple one. So it's got no branding, nothing like that on it. It's just very simple diagram and example. If you wanted to put a whole load more detail on here, you can do that from the settings area through a Word template, but for the moment we'll just have it as that. Common question we get here is the top details have now disappeared. You can just click on this little plus to get them back, but because everything's already been entered, we don't need that anymore. Now I talked before about a stock first or invoice first option. So up here we've got the options here for stock or invoice first. That makes a difference here. So at the moment we've got invoice first. So what that means is we get the invoice from the supplier and then we get the stock later on. Therefore I can click onto the invoice screen, but I can't click stock received. If it's the other way around, just tick stock first, and then you'll see it goes stock received and then invoice. So we'll do this now for the sake of it. So stock received, I can copy it from the order. So that copies everything across and says, yes, great, you ordered 10 of these, 50, 20 and 100. You can always change if you need to here, so you can change to if you received slightly less of something or whatever, you can do that. And here I can authorize that. This is giving me an interesting error. So this is giving me an error just telling me there's a stock take that I've already started, which I did for a previous video in the Melbourne warehouse. So because there's a stock take in place, DIA has a few very good areas of the system that it will stop you doing stupid things. So for example there, I've got a stock take in progress, I shouldn't be able to bring stock in because that's going to confuse everything. So I'll just quickly go here and just void the stock take. One of the advantages you'll notice with cloud software is we get very good error messages. So you don't get any error 406 and you've got to go and work out what that means. It's pretty intelligent in telling you exactly why it's not working. So that's now authorized, and now I can go into invoice. So here I do the supplier invoice number, so I'll just do supplier 123. It was dated today. By default that supplier is due at end of month, but I can change that if I want to. Again, I can copy everything across, so that tells me it should be 9,600. I can just confirm that up here and authorize. Why is that telling me it doesn't match? Oh, my mistake, there's a tax on top of that. So again, I can authorize that. And then what that will do, that's done a few different things. So it'll put these items into stock, as you'll see later on another video. We can then do production with these. It's put the supplier invoice into DIA, and it's also dropped that supplier invoice into 0, ready to pay. Further to this, you can do credit notes as well. We've covered them in another video, and we can also do manual journals for costing that we've got in a separate video as well.